This is the closest thing to any sort of religious text or spirituality that as a people, as Americans, we can all identify with, because this is basically the sum total of our culture.
Off the street and saying they're in front of us. That will not happen, and people around me will make sure that does not happen either. Because there will be a major problem if it does happen.
When Star Wars opened, it coined the phrase blockbuster, you know, because at the Mann's Chinese Theater when it opened in '77, it was going around the block.
That was a theater where the original Star Wars movie premiered. George Lucas was actually sitting across the road eating a hamburger with his wife when he saw people lining up for a movie along here, and he didn't realize it was his own movie.
This is kind of like Star Wars all over, the original, A New Hope all over again for my generation.
We thought we'd try to recreate that hype, but on a much bigger scale for The Phantom Menace.
It was our idea to wait here for 3 weeks to see this film.
Where are you from?
I'm from England.
It was our idea to go out and spend $9.50 just to see a 2-minute and 20-second trailer. I downloaded all of the TV spots. I have them all on my computer. I have the trailer on my computer. I have everything Star Wars, and I just can't wait for this.
At last, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last, we'll have our revenge.
It was just so cool to see it on the big screen and hear the rumble of the subwoofer and all that stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this movie.
Like my friend and myself have probably had sex more times in our lives than everybody online put together.
As Lucas said, he's making this for the fans. He's not making this for, you know, the general population, Joe Schmo off the street. This movie is being made for the hardcore Star Wars fans who want to see the first 3 movies.
He and his movies have, you know, gotten me through some times in my life.
I mean, he's amazing, and he's humble, and he's all of that.
He's going to stay true. He's not going to sell out.
You know, when I was like 14, my mother would, you know, hey, there was something about Star Wars in the paper, I clipped it out for you, and, you know, I'd keep it.
I believe that he'll make sure to make a movie that'll please the true fans.
He has a great heart. The message is positive.
I'd keep clippings, you know, when he got divorced, etc.
I'm sure he does an amazing thing with all of the, you know, money he makes.
Do you have him in the site the entire time? Because I'm, like, fondling him like he's, anyway, a close friend.
I'm just afraid that maybe, like, he'll leave, like, the rights to his kid or something in his will, and then, like, his kid will become, like, some sort of, like, crack fiend.
That's what I'm afraid of.
And suck old men's toes for crack money, and then he'll sell the rights or something for some rock.
You forgot the batteries.
Star Wars started the merchandising. On one hand, it can seem cynical, and they're trying to milk it for every penny they can.
I've been bumping these off briskly at $100 a pop.
On the other hand, I see these toys, they're cool, I want them.
These haven't been out of the box for 22 years.
I have this little, like, 6-inch or 5-inch Yoda with, like, a cloth robe and stuff. And, like, he totally rocks. Like, the way his hands are positioned, right? You can put cigarettes in his mouth so it looks like he smokes.
In Germany, I'm in my room with all the collectibles about Star Wars and put the helmet on, and suddenly I disappear. And then there's a cut, and I appear in New York.
$100. He's gone. Gone. This is the one for my personal collection.
Those are the people I hate, because I was at Toys R Us at midnight, 12:01, when they were selling those toys, and people like that grab like 8 or 9 of those figures. They have to have everything's got to be perfect, and then they go and they sell them for like $30 or $40, and that's the reason why Star Wars fans like me cannot get what we want.
I kind of stole one from a little kid, which was kind of cool, but you know. It was Boba Fett, which I love Boba Fett. And like the kid had the last one, but his mom wasn't around, right? So I kind of like rolled up to the kid and I saw he had the last Boba Fett. And like the kid's probably, what's he gonna do with Boba Fett, really? I mean, so I was like, hey, you know, you're not allowed to take that out of this aisle unless, you know, your parents are with you. And he was like, oh, okay. So he put it down and he went to get his mom, and I snatched it up and ran to the cash register.
This lightsaber isn't mine, unfortunately.
Well, the lightsaber duels have to stop.
Why is this?
Because someone's gonna get severely violated with one of those sooner or later.
Some Star Wars fans just totally trash on Star Trek because they might be kind of jealous, because I would say that Star Trek is a little more organized, like the fandom is a little more in there, and there's a lot more to like be a fan of. You know, there's 4 series, an animated series, 9 movies. So there's a little bit of jealousy there.
Is this the kind of violence we want to show our children now? Yes, where's your Yoda now? Where's your Yoda now? Where's the sword right?
Everyone knows Darth Vader. We all know Luke Skywalker. You know, it's kind of cool. It's just become such a deep part of our culture that you can say the Force. I can just say to you the Force, and you know what I'm talking about. I don't even got to say anything else.
Everything in our society, or at least the way I see it, was shaped by that movie. We're the Star Wars generation, and it is, in a sense, our religious culture.
Throughout history, people in the Middle Ages went to churches, or they go to shrines, and they had this feeling in that. You know, in the 20th century, it's not always like this. We have mass media and entertainment.
You got a crowd of people, they're congregating, they're sharing their experience for the most part, they're sharing their knowledge, and really geeky, trivial knowledge and stuff.
I like the fact that it's quasi-religious and spiritual, but in a very sort of fashionable and easy to understand way. It means a lot to me.
I guess it's better than, say, worshiping like a cult and like committing suicide for some god who just really doesn't exist. But I think you could find better things to do with your life. If you can like build a career around Star Wars, it's good. But otherwise, you know, just try to keep it like 1 or 2 hours a day. Don't totally obsess over it. It's wrong.
I don't believe that, you know, there's actually a galaxy far, far away. You know, well, actually, I do.
These people should be praying right now to Jesus, or at least sitting at home and watching television or something.
Here for NY Lounge Countdown during the stand-a-thon for the Starlight Children's Foundation. And we have been here since May 1st.
It's interesting, I think press is about equal to the number of people here so far, which is perhaps indicative of the circumstance of Star Wars.
If I'm in an Obi-Wan robe, then I sort of can step out of my meteorologist shoes for a second and just go nuts with it.
Why are we covering it? I don't know. You know, I helped George Lucas market his movie. I don't know.
The other people that use the Force were in like movies that grossed $100 million, and I used the Force and we didn't make squat. You know, our movie tanked.
I want to be in the next one. With Star Wars being on the cover of Time one week, Newsweek the next week, you know, stories on it every day in USA Today for the past month or so, I think it's very much become a mainstream phenomenon.
The fact that that's making headline news is really bizarre to me. There's like so many issues, like so many incredible things going on in the world right now, and like people and me are like so focused on Star Wars. This is Star Wars fans, and it's just bizarre. America's funny that way.
I don't know how many networks were actually here, as well as independent people, documentaries were being made, but it was incredible. Every major network was here.
I know fans here who have been interviewed over and over again by media who just don't know what they're talking about, and it gets really annoying.
We had a local evening program come out here. It's a half-hour show that's on every night, and they spent the whole time calling us freaks, and making fun of us and calling one of our guys saying that he was raised by wolves.
When I think it was Fox 5 asked me why don't I get a life instead of wasting my time here, and what do I say to people who say that? And I say to them, I think you're jealous because you really wish you could be here.
The news radio people are just fucking idiots. They're the stupidest people on the earth, you know? They ask you the same damn questions over and over and over, and then they don't want to listen to your answer.
Well, the silliest one that I've been asked, like, do I dream of a particular character or characters in the Star Wars trilogy? I thought that was a little odd. Like, no. I mean, not to say I've never dreamt about Star Wars characters.
I'm what's called an undercover nerd.
When I took my job, I told my boss that when Star Wars comes out, I need time off work, and I've been working there for 5 years, so that was 5 years ago that I warned them that I was taking this day out, so they really had nothing to say about it.
Undercover nerds are people who can dress in public and talk to regular people, but at home we have secret stashes of Japanese cartoons.
I haven't met anyone here who's a geek or who doesn't have a life or who's foolish.
I don't really see us any different than football fans that paint their faces and stand nude in 40 below degrees or whatever they do. And I'm really shocked at the animosity from the media towards us by calling us freaks and idiots and wackos.
After episode 3, I don't know. I figured I'm either gonna leave the country or stick dynamite in my ass and blow myself up in the theater after it's over. Because what the hell, you know, like, there's no more. That's it. No more Star Wars.
What are you gonna do if the movie really sucks?
Probably see it again.
Yeah,
we'll probably see. Yeah, we'll have to see it again.
I can't see any way that it could suck, but if it does, I'm just gonna have to slit my wrist.
It's not gonna suck, man. There's no way the movie can suck. There's just no way the movie can suck. Don't see that.
There is no way it's going to suck.
Well, it could suck.
It could not suck. How could it suck? We've seen 2 trailers. They both rocked.
Well, you know,
how could that?
Well, maybe not.
Once the opening scroll starts, I'm gonna be in ecstasy.
There's gonna be people crying here, you know?
We're gonna see the movie tonight. Opening night.
What time?
First night, 12:01.
45 minutes.
Best theater in New York City.
How do you know we're Star Wars fans? Well, right here we got somebody important. It's going to be named after a character from Episode 1.
This is the best night and the best audience to see this film. There'll be nothing like it.
I don't fucking care if this movie is just like alien bestiality. I'm still gonna be down. Gonna love this. You know why? Because it's Star Wars.
Oh, man! Come on.
I'm on my way in.
My number 1 experience is getting married, and number 2, I was a company commander in the Gulf War, and I brought back 150 of my guys back from the war not injured. And this is number 3. It sounds so corny, man, but that's exactly how I feel. It's really great.
I don't know what George Lucas was doing with those visuals, but I'm overwhelmed.